what's up, zoners? Today, we're going to be going over live mock draft trends from the last 7 days. I've got the top 7 risers and the top 7 fallers, and I'm going to be telling you a reason for each player, why they're going down, man. Some of these players have articles written specifically about them, burning them down to the ground, okay? So we're going to be trying to take advantage of some of this shit. That's the kind of stuff we're going to be going over. I've got all my notes typed out. I'm going to be sharing that with you right now. All right, first up. Going up, man. Number 1 riser this last week, Shaheed. This fool was on my waiver wire list, like 8 weeks last year? Plus 2.6%. He's going in that 13th round, so you don't have to spend much on him. PFF named him to the all-breakout team for 2024 in a recent June article. So people are starting to pour through all the breakouts, all the busts. They're starting to get back into fantasy football, and PFF carries a ton of weight. Also, man, apparently Fantasy Footballers just did a focus segment on him as well, a positive one. I do not watch them because I do not want to copy their material, but Jason watches them. So we've got boots on the ground, people. We got boots on the ground. He played only 58% of snaps last year. Olave 66% his rookie season, 74% last year. So you can see that he needs to be on the field a bunch more to contribute. But guess what, man? Now he's number 2 on the depth chart because Michael Thomas's ass is gone, dude. Can't guard Mike is gone. All right, so he should get a lot more opportunity. That is pretty much the main focus of PFF and Fantasy Footballers. 4 games with over 18 fantasy points last year in full PPR. So it is in him to be elite, and that was with Derek Carr, dude. But I hate Derek Carr, man. I do not like Derek Carr. I am nervous about Chris Olave alone. I don't want the number 2, let alone the number 1. Okay, so all right, here we go. The number 2 riser, Christian Kirk. I just came out. He was on our Friday drinking episode as a player that I draft every single time. He is up plus 2.5%. And it is not from that Friday episode, people, because we do not carry that much weight around here. Hopefully someday. He's going in the 8th round. I picked him up in the 7th, and I feel good about it. So PFF just named him as the bounce back candidate for the Jaguars. They came out with a huge article, bounce back candidate for every single team. And it's not even like fantasy football positions, man. It could be a defensive back. So it was kind of rare for a wide receiver to be on that bounce back. People are going through this right now, getting back into fantasy football. They see this kind of shit. PFF, like I said, carries a lot of weight. So that might be pushing him up. He did suffer that abdominal tear and core injury last year. That ended his season, and then Evan Ingram did break out. So he will be competing with Evan Ingram, but they have they got rid of Calvin Ridley, had like 136 targets. And now they bring in Brian Thomas Jr., who is a rookie, and Gabe Davis, who the fuck cares, dude. I've had him for like 2 years. You don't know when he's going to do well. You don't know when he's not going to do well. And Christian Kirk, dude, was the wide receiver 12 the last time he was the number 1 wide receiver for Trevor Lawrence. That was in 2022. So, dude, huge value with Christian Kirk going in the 8th round, and he could literally be a number 1 wide receiver for your team. All right, the number 3 riser over the last week, McConkey, man. I still have trouble saying that last name, dear Lord. Plus 2.1%. He is going in the 10th round, man. He is climbing up the draft boards. I remember he was going in the 14th round, 13th round. Holy shit, dude. 10th round now. As we keep on hearing all this shit coming out of Justin Herbert's mouth and camp, he is just going to be going up. And plus, this last week, he just signed a historic contract. It's been all over the news, man. It's like you just Google his name. It's all about that contract. Let's see. Ended up giving him the most guaranteed money to a 34th overall pick in NFL history. I think he got like 4-year contract. So a big deal for him that late in the draft. He's been the MVP of the preseason so far for the Chargers, man. That's all you hear is his crisp route running and his amazing catches. Herbert says it's like throwing to a 4 or 5-year veteran. He's still listed as wide receiver 3 on the Chargers' depth chart. So behind Joshua Palmer and Quentin Johnston. Jason told me that the Fantasy Footballers just had, I think one of their breakouts was Quentin Johnston. No thanks, dude. I'd rather have Lad McConkey way over Quentin Johnston. I'd rather have Joshua Palmer way over Quentin Johnston. No fucking thank you, dude. But still, I mean, whatever, dude. To each their own. That's why fantasy football is great. And then what else, dude? Greg Roman is going to allow 1 wide receiver on this team to be fantasy relevant. And who's it going to be? Taking a risk in the 10th round of Lad McConkey is not the worst you can do. All right, man. Number 4 riser for the last week. My man, Blake Corum, up plus 2.1%. He's going in the 11th round, and that just keeps on going up, man. The foot injury to Kyron Williams, all this other bullshit. But guess what, dude? Kyren Williams was on the Rich Eisen show this week saying that he's excited to have a runner, dude, a guy that likes to run the ball so much, like Blake Corum on the team, as it will allow him to get in the slot or run routes out of the backfield more. So is that what I want to hear of my first round running back, dude? No, it is not. So it sounds like Kyren Williams is going out in the slot while Blake Corum's going down there in the backfield, man, taking some reps away from Kyren Williams. All right, dude? And what Kyren had 55 red zone attempts, the fourth most in the league, 17 attempts inside the 5. That was the sixth most in the league. Do not be putting him out in the slot or running routes and putting Blake Corum as a tailback on the 5, dude, because guess who's going to get the touchdown? It's going to be Blake Corum. So that is not good. I'm sure that is scaring people right now. He already, like I said, he already missed a little bit of camp with that foot injury. He's had lower leg injuries in his career, man. They drafted Blake Corum in the 3rd round, a lot of draft capital. Kyren missed 4 games last year, and Blake Corum led college running backs, dude, or just in general with 27 rushing touchdowns, man. So I'm talking about they're going to be on the 5. They're going to put Kyren Williams out, and they're going to leave Blake Corum in, and this fool knows how to score touchdowns. So, dude, Blake Corum and Kyren Williams, we got to figure this shit out. All right, next up, man, the number 5 riser, Jaden Reed, broke out last year, plus 2.0%, going in the 9th round. I think this shit's funny, man. So I couldn't find anything, and then all of a sudden I saw PFF tweeted out their top 5 NFL wide receiver cores, and Green Bay was not on there, all right? So Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco, replied to PFF saying that Green Bay should be on this list. And then he tweeted out, dude, he was like fighting with PFF and other people. Then he's all, dude, Jaden Reed, bitch, learn the fucking name now. So he was all, dude, to him, and he's an amazing wide receiver, route runner, footwork, amazing. He thinks that Jaden Reed is the best wide receiver on the most undervalued wide receiver core in the league. So that was making some waves, man. So that's the only thing I can find about Jaden Reed going up last week. Wide receiver 10, man, from week 10 on last season, and is going against wide receiver 37 right now. So wide receiver 10, when he was breaking out with Jordan Love, as Jordan Love broke out, he did as well. And then now he's going as wide receiver 37. So huge value. He had 10 total touchdowns last year. That's where he made his money, in the end zone. All right, man. The number 6 riser, Trey Benson, up 1.9%, going in the 11th round. One of the top backup running backs going in the league right now. NFL.com just released their 2024 All-Rookie team, projecting 11 instant impact newcomers on offense. Trey Benson was their number 1 pick, dude, at running back. So NFL.com gets around the news cycles, gets around the Twitter, gets in people's minds, and all people are seeing are, hey, dude, Trey Benson's already projected to be the all-rookie team. Well, what about James Conner? Well, fuck James Conner. James Conner must be dead if this guy's making the all-rookie team. So Conner has not played in more than 13 games in a season over the last 2 years. So there is a chance that Trey Benson's going to get some starts here. And Trey Benson fucking annihilated shit in college, man. He was really good. He ranked 3rd in breakaway percentage last year in college. So he could get a few touches and still be fantasy relevant. So he's got that top end speed and he can break tackles. He's like historic at breaking tackles. So I do think that James Conner will be the workhorse here, but I do think that Trey Benson will be a flex by mid-season. And then in the 11th round, that's a pretty good value. All right, man. Last riser on this list, and one of my favorite running backs to pick every single time I mock draft, Zamir White, plus 1.8%, going in the 7th round. So, dude, for a number 1 running back, holy shit, that's a value. Named on New York Times breakout player list this last week. I did not know New York Times did fantasy football, but guess what they do? And he was on their breakout list, and a lot of people that don't know shit about fantasy football probably get the New York Times, man. So they're starting to do this kind of stuff. And there was an article on the Fantasy Footballers website focusing on Zamir that just came out this week as well. I did not read it because, like I said, I do not like to look at the Fantasy Footballer stuff. They're my competition, man. How am I supposed to compete with this shit? So I did see it on the Googles. I Googled it and it was there. I was like, hey, man, there's an article. Just came out a couple days ago. So that is why Zamir White is getting some more recognition. That he should. He should be way higher than this, man. He should be going like the 5th round. Weeks 15, because weeks 15 through 18, he averaged 23.3 touches and 114 yards per game. He was a running back 12 over that span. He ranked 13th in explosive run rate and 6th in yards after contact per attempt. He's going as running back 23 right now. So he was a running back 12 with Antonio Pierce running the hell out of the ball, dude. And they've got shitty quarterbacks again. Now he's going as running back 23. Huge value on Zamir White. All right, on to the biggest fallers over the last week. Number 1, man, going down. David Njoku, negative 4.4%. He's going in the 7th round right now. All right, he was named as one of the most overvalued players in a Sports Illustrated article released this week. And it was not about anybody else but David Njoku. So, yeah, I thought usually there's a top 3, top 4, whatever the fuck. No, dude, this guy was like, let's write an article about David Njoku and about how overvalued he is. Okay. Then he was also featured in a recent Bleacher Report article, naming him among the top 8 most overvalued players this year. So, overvalued. And David Njoku, trending, averaged 8.3 fantasy points per game in the 5 games with Deshaun Watson last year. So, dude, he was the number 1 tight end by like so far. Okay, dude, over the last month of fantasy football last year because, yeah, dude, Joe Flacco, flack around and find out. People flacked around and found out. David Njoku killed shit, man. He was the number 1 fantasy tight end. But people in their minds, that's what they remember. So, and now they're starting to realize, oh shit, dude, he was terrible with Deshaun Watson. Hunter Henry, man, finished last year as tight end 16, scoring 8.6 fantasy points per game. So, like I said, David Njoku with Deshaun Watson, 8.3 fantasy points per game. Hunter Henry, tight end 16, 8.6. So, dude, you're getting like a tight end 17 here. Going as tight end number 9 right now. Do not get David Njoku. All right, man, the number 2 faller on this list, Jakobi Meyers, man. If Jimmy Garoppolo was here, we'd be talking about Jakobi Meyers being a fucking league winner last year, but that didn't happen. Negative 2.9% going in the 13th round, so you don't have to spend anything on him. He was on Fantasy Pros bust candidate list. That's the only thing I could really find bad about Jakobi Meyers, and that was written like 3 weeks ago. So I do not know why Jakobi Meyers is going down right now. Minshew did rank 23rd in catchable pass rate. AOC ranked 32nd in catchable pass rate. And both averaged 197 passing yards per game this last year. I want the running back on this team, and I want Devontae Adams. And Brock Bowers. Dude, I don't want Jakobi Meyers right now. So Brock Bowers, I think, is changing people's minds. Brock Bowers is getting so much love. All those articles about Sean McVay trying to trade up for him. That could be what's going on here. Number 3, Justin Herbert, down 2.9% over the last week. He's going in the 12th round, man. He was like a top 5 quarterback until he got injured last season. But I get it, dude. He had Kellen Moore and a douchebag for a head coach last year. Now he's got Greg Roman and fucking Jim Harbaugh. So it's going to be a whole different ball game over there. Greg Roman and Harbaugh run the shit out of the ball, all right? But he did headline Fantasy Pros article about QB bust that came out this week. So it was him and Kirk Cousins and something else, can't remember. But he was the main person on this article, and I love Fantasy Pros, dude. I think a lot of people do as well. Fantasy Pros has been coming out with so many bust lists. You'll see it in a minute. But hey, here's a positive. Lamar had a top 5 passing rate in 3 of his 4 seasons with Greg Roman. That is higher than any touchdown rate Herbert has ever had. So he's going to be scoring a lot, touchdowns at a much higher rate. It just, I don't know when they're going to be there, dude. It's all about opportunity. He's going as quarterback 15 right now, and he has the second easiest strength of schedule. So if he could run a lot more, he will be a top 10 quarterback. But if he does not run, dude, he will probably be in that 15 range. All right, next up, the number 4 faller on this list, James Conner. This is just, the inverse or the whatever of Trey Benson. So Trey Benson going up. What do you think is going to happen, man? James Conner is going to be going down. So negative 2.3%. And he's going in the 7th round right now. I still like getting James Conner, man. Like, the Cardinals had a top 10 win rate on their offensive line, or run block win rate, and they ran the ball like at a top 10 rate as well. So things are turning around over there with the new head coach. I like them running the ball more. Let's see. He has been a win now trade target in Dynasty articles on multiple websites this week, so I don't know if that's freaking people out. And then he was named to Fantasy Pros running back bust list. He was running back 13, scoring 15.5 fantasy points per game last year, dude. So running back 13, he's going as running back 24 right now. They drafted Trey Benson, but that's it. They also got, another couple. Marvin Harrison Jr. should take some pressure off of the run game there. I'm loving James Conner in the 7th round, man. All right, man, the number 5 faller on this list, Brock Purdy. Dude, people just keep on talking about Brock Purdy can't do it. He cannot do it again. The efficiency, like his touchdown rate was over 7% 2 years in a row. His efficiency metrics are ridiculous. He can't continue to do that. He's down 2.3%. He's going in the 9th round. That is a huge fucking value, dude. Brock Purdy in the 9th round. I love that. He was named in Fantasy Pros quarterback bust article that came out this last week, along with Kirk Cousins and Caleb Williams. So he's a bust, man, apparently. All right, Fantasy Pros. And to me, what's really affecting him the most is Brandon Ayuk holding out for new contract in all this trade talk. Because everybody's like, dude, Brock Purdy needs an all-star assembly cast. If he loses Brandon Ayuk, there goes a huge piece. He's not going to be what he once was. So in my mind, if they lose Ayuk, that is going to put him way down in people's minds. And this is what's been going on over the last week. I do not hold water to that, dude. If Ayuk left, I would not knock down Brock Purdy that much, okay? They just drafted 2 more wide receivers, and Juwan Johnson was pretty fucking good too. So, dude, he had the most points scored over expected last year, and that is the kind of shit that does not repeat, okay? So that's why he got lucky last year. He had an amazing schedule. He's got a terrible schedule right now, one of the worst in the league, but he has an amazing playoff schedule. So, dude, quarterback 6 last year going as quarterback 11. I still think he is a good value. I'm taking advantage of him falling, man. All right, man. Number 6 on this list, Rashee Rice. This should be pretty easy, right? He's down 2.3%. He's going in the 8th round, dude. He's going in the 8th round, which at some point might be a value. I have no idea. Multi-game suspension to be handed out soon. Multiple news sites are reporting this during this week. Just Google Rashee Rice, man. It's like 4 days ago, 5 days ago, 6 days ago. Multi-game suspension going to be handed out soon. So everybody's getting afraid of this shit. So he's going down, down, down. It's just it's refreshing people's mind that this guy's a piece of shit. He did a lot of fucked up shit. And now he's not going to be here for your fantasy team for a while. It's going as wide receiver 35 right now. And he was wide receiver 8 from week 12 on. So you're getting a top 10 wide receiver when he's on the field as wide receiver 35. At some point, he's going to be a value, man. I don't know. All right, last on this list, I ran out of steam. Worked on this for like 4 hours yesterday. Holy shit, dude. Number 7, faller, Devonta Smith, down 2.2%. He's going in the 5th round, all right? He was going in the 3rd, sometimes 2nd round last year. That was heresy. We told you about that. 5th round, not that bad. He was named on Fantasy Pros wide receiver bust list along with Cooper Kupp and Marvin Harrison Jr. But, dude, Kellen Moore, I talked about this. Mike Williams, Kellen Moore. Mike Williams was doing pretty good with Kellen Moore because we thought that they like to stretch the field. Dude, Keenan Allen was like the fucking man with Kellen Moore, okay? And who reminds you more of Keenan Allen in this offense? I think Devonta Smith, dude. Devonta Smith. Not that big, contested ball, catch, run after the cat, all that shit, dude. I'm thinking Keenan Allen, crisp route running, going over the middle sometimes, running the slot. I think I said, dude, Devonta Smith ran the most in the slot of his career last year, and that's where Keenan Allen was killing it for Kellen Moore. I'm kind of liking Devonta Smith to overproduce this year compared to his draft pick. All right, everybody, that is the show. Now you know why people are going up and people are going down. The mystery is solved. You can make the decision for yourself if you want to pay attention to these news articles coming out, man, negative or positive. All right. So hopefully I earned a thumbs up. Hopefully I earned a subscription, man. We need it. We need to get to 1,000. We need to get to 1 million, man. I need to be able to afford this laptop I'm talking on right now. Okay. So please help us out. This is Tyler, Big Turd Ward, and this is the Fantasy Red Zone, and we appreciate you.